All right, so this video, I'm just going to be comparing how a professional rides his own trail to how I ride it. I'm very comfortable with. It's not super techy, it's not giant jumps or anything. It's something anyone can ride, and everyone does. It's getting very, very popular. It's a very popular trail out here now, and it links into the whole Blue Square experience, which I'm doing another video series on. What I want to compare in this video is just how I approach the trail and how Mark approached the trail. Now keep in mind, Mark is much faster. He's a professional mountain biker for many years, and I was a hockey player that went to mountain biking super part-time. So Mark is much faster and I am much slower. When I was editing these together, it was kind of annoying because I was like, well, I'm much slower. How do I compare all these sections? Do I just chop it up? And what I wanted to do was give a side-by-side of Mark riding the trail and me riding the trail. So my choices were to either slow Mark down, which I didn't want to, mostly because of the video quality, or speed me up. So keep in mind, mine is sped up. Mark is about 20 to 25% faster than I am on this entire run, which is crazy. So if it was a minute-long run, Mark would be, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds faster than me, which is significant. So he's much, much faster, but I wanted to really line us up side by side for each of the hits, where Mark's getting air, and things like that. So let's check it out, side by side, Mark and me. Cheers.
I hustle and motivate. Follow me, I know the way. Grind hard on them every night and day. And the 40 bank hard in the air, I don't play. I aim for the neck and the juggler. So don't people think I'm a smuggler. Don't get it confused, bro, I'm just a hustler. Been in the gym, so I got my muscle up. I'm like Yosemite Sam in the Wild West. I just laugh at them when they wear vests, cause it's headshots on sight. I don't do beef, I just lay it to rest. I'm so hungry, my flow sound malicious. On my journey, I'm chasing my riches. I got so many reasons that I gotta make it, so I wake up and I go get it. I move like I'm the mob in my all black. You ain't down with my squad, you can fall back. If you never seen greatness, then you about to witness, and you gon' know what you should call that. Every song that I've been on is a hit like a ball back. I took some losses, but I got them all back. Been at the bottom and I'm never going back. I'm fully focused and I'm on track. I'm tired of waiting, I'm running out of patience. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm tired of waiting, I'm running out of patience. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm tired of waiting, I'm running out of patience. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm about to make my move right now. Yeah, I came up straight from the bottom. Put on the gas, yeah, that's the throttle. I get the smash cause I get the bottle. These people mad cause I get the mile. I'm changing lanes in my auto. Get to the bag is my motto. I'm coming up cause I stay down. Grind so hard I can't slow down. That Lewis Gibbons started from the mud. I wrapped it up and now it's a drum. If you wanna play, call my bluff. I'm not gonna pull it if I ain't gon' bust. I'm making the movie cooking up too. On the freeway I got
Three big takeaways I had. One was the air time, of course. Mark is comfortable in the air, and he likes gapping things, and he's looking way further down the trail. So as he's airing things, he's eliminating that pumping that I have to do. So he's airing to the down, keeping more speed, and even when he's coming down onto it, his bike gains more traction. So he's not only skipping the part that slows you down, the bumps, he's airing, and then he's landing. As he lands, right before a berm, which would terrify me right now, he's gaining that traction, so all that weight's coming down, and he's leaning the bike right away and carrying that momentum into the berm. So that brings me to the next one, which is the berms. Mark's hitting the berms a little differently than me. This trail doesn't have huge, big berms very often. It's got nice, wide, long berms, which is great for us intermediate riders. But Mark's taking advantage of every inch of it. So he's starting high, and he's coming in tight, and then he's blowing out high on these berms, and then he's compressing and pulling in, it looks like, to just gain that extra little traction right at the end to to speed up, continue with that momentum into the next berm. And he's leaning that bike over, he's doing really well. Where I'll come in and I'm kind of aiming for the middle of the berms always. And sometimes that means I'll come in a little low and I'll finish a little high, or I'll start a little high and finish a little low. And every berm I'm losing some time there. And then now it's the third thing, which is basically two things, is braking less, pedaling more. So keeping your momentum, keeping your speed. I'm definitely more tired at the end of a run than Mark is. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that I'm braking more, which wastes more energy out of me, and I'm pedaling to try and catch up to it. So with Mark, you can see that he's pedaling in nice spots where it's nice and easy. He's in the right gear. You can just do a couple quick pedals and he's gone. Where, like, the way I approach it is I'm braking into corners too much, and then I'm trying to pedal out of them for like 6 or 7 or 8 strokes before I hit the next berm, which of course leads me back to the first thing, where I'm just going over the berms, or not the berms, the rollers. Don't want to go over the berms. Where Mark's able to keep that momentum and speed, and he can air it, and just the way he lands and the way he does air is so effortless. He just has that. So for me as an intermediate rider, what can I learn from what Mark's been doing? I would say, keeping the momentum, pedaling in the right spots, making sure you're in the right gear, hitting those berms just right, using as much of the berm as possible while maintaining traction, so staying nice and high, and then starting to get the wheels off the ground. So looking at the doubles and triples very differently. Start off with a nice, easy straight liner one. It was really interesting to watch the side-by-side of Mark versus how I approach Blueprint. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it a little bit, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.